Kehanim. So everything you look in the Rimazim of davening, it's lahavli. In Shara Kelil, he mentions it from Sfarim that this is Mekubal, that Yechan originally 124, because in general it says that a person writes a sefer, it should be Meramez, hint his name to the sefer. So it's either the numerical value of the name of the sefer, or in the name of the sefer itself, more obvious, or an abbreviation of the name, of his name in the name of the sefer. Here it is a gematria, the numerical value.
The Valam Nisim, Nusach Chabad, the different Nusach is a little bit different.
Right. The fourth part.
First part, Valam Nisim, a program like voice.
You mean that first part? I think it starts. If I'm not mistaken, I think they start from BMA. I think the Cheshvan is May. Also, there's another part that we don't even say. We don't realize there's three parts to Valam Nisim. But the third part we don't say. There's a part of the Sipur, Nisim, and the Flois. Then we thank the Eibishter. Then officially we're supposed to finish with a tefillah. That the same way Kishem Shal Sisa, like you did miracles then, you should do today. Lepil Mamish, that's skipped over, and it's mentioned all this fun that they don't say it. The sun, so I don't know if that's also in the Cheshbon or not. Okay.
When you skip the Valam Nisim for the Valam Meitiv, so you say a little bit different.
Right.
And then you say,
right, in case you missed it and you want to fill it in there after the third blessing.
So chalitza only means to take off, doesn't mean shoe.
Chalitza means taking off the shoe. By chalitza means taking off, right. Machalotze is, you have it in the Haftarah of Parsha Balescha, but in Chumash it's used v'cholzon aile. Actually, I think it's also used in Rus, I think by the end of Rus, or that much states having a chilufin. Yeah, I think in the end of Echalash and Cholzon, in Parsha. In the Parsha, by the end of Rus, no. About the word Cholzon means taking off the garments. You know, Cholzon means Chalitza.
Also Chalitza
Tzomes, yeah. Yeah, so B'meila, the Rebbe says that because there are these contractions and these curtains and these different things, blockades, that they cause a limitation in the revelation, so this accomplishes, this is all for the purpose, this is also for the purpose, there should be free choice, also on the negative elements. Because if godliness would have been revealed and everything would have been obvious in the world, there wouldn't be any free choice. You're seeing everything, you're seeing the truth for the eyes. Al-Derech, like the Baditcheva once said, the holy Rabbi Levitz Baditcheva once said, you put the Gan Eden and the Svarim, and you put the worldly pleasures, in its physical world. It says if you would have turned it around, he tells the Eibishter, nobody would have sinned. If you would have seen the Gan Eden in this world, and he says you took you put everything in different places.
He's saying Gentiles have free choice here?
He's saying here in the no, it's it could be that he's speaking. It could be that he's speaking that a Yid should be able to choose also the opposite. He should be able to choose also in Bulum Hazeh. Yesh Eifen, there is an Eifen, Sham Shacha B'Gvuras Dilum Hazeh Al Chitzeinim B'Bchina Seides B'Lei Keilah. You have an Eifen that the Hamshacha, the drawing down in these negative, impure elements, deals with the revelations without vessels. Sha'oz HaHamshacha Eina B'Shleimus. It is not an ultimate fulfillment of drawing down, because it doesn't remain in this lower world. And then there's an Eifen of bringing it down. There is a way that he brings down not only the neshamas, but there is also kelim, which means the vessels, the bodies. There is something that contains these revelations. So now the Rebbe begins explaining. The demons originally were created without their bodies. And later, the Levium accomplished it in them. What is the big Yom Tif about it? So this is what he's going to explain, the Rebbe, what was accomplished there. The beginning of the creation, they were created without their bodies, without vessels. Chitzeinim means, it speaks about the negative elements. Since this is how it was created in the impure side of the chain of creation, the impure side of the creation, from this we understand that also in Kedusha, The Amshacha was Shaydei Pchenes HaGvuras Be'efon Ha'eres the Leikelim Shein Lazakiyah. Be'efon the Eres B'Leikelim. So from this we understand that also on the side of the sacred side, it was also created in a way that it was a revelation without vessels, which has no a remainder. There's nothing remains from it. V'hainu. Vu Beiston.
Three words before the Hainu.
Yeah, that's what we said. V'yesh Eifen, the end of the previous paragraph. Now we go on. V'hine betchilas abriya nivruk. So the same way that it's in Lu'umaz that they were created without their bodies, from this we understand also in sacred matters that there sometimes a person draws down something, but it doesn't have any kiyum, it doesn't remain. Because the drawing down through the idea of gvuras, which means through gvura, which gvura. Okay, finally we have to explain it. The difference between chesed and gvura is chesed means drawing down, it means giving, it means hamshocha, it means revelation. Gvura means, and b'meila, what does it mean? It means relating to the outside world, being mashpi in the outside world. When it comes to gvura, gvura is fakert. Gvura is the union of strictness. Strictness, when we speak about it in a personal character trait, this means the opposite of generous, the opposite of giving, the opposite of revelation, and the opposite, in a sense, of relating to the outside world. What does it mean, the opposite of relating to the outside world? The opposite of being considerate to the outside world. This is the difference between chesed and gvura. What does this mean on the level of revelation, spiritual revelation? Chesed is hamshocha. It is drawing down, it is taking in consideration the receiver. Taking in consideration the one that's receiving. On the other hand, gvura, although there is also some kind of conduct, behavior, expression, but it's still, the whole purpose is removal from the other person, removing oneself from the other person. We see it also in the relationship. When a person has a friend and he deals with him in a way of chesed, so he brings himself closer to the friend, and the friend is drawn closer to him. On the other hand, when a person has the union of gvura, he breaks the friend, he breaks the relationship, and in a sense he removes himself from the friend, and if the friend has common sense, he removes himself from him, because he's not interested in such a kind of friendship. Such friends, he can have enemies. B'meila, this is the difference between chesed and gvura. Chesed is drawing down, gvura is withdrawal. Therefore, when we speak about hamshacha, a drawing down that comes from gvura, even though it's called drawing down, there's an expression. He's expressing himself to the outside world, but he's actually withdrawing himself from the outside world and distancing people from him. And therefore, this is called gvura. This would be similar to al-derech, like Chassidus explains. The Rebbe speaks about it a few times. What is the difference between chesed of Avram and chesed of Yishmael? Yishmael comes from Avram. Avram yatzam memenu Yishmael. What is the difference? So Chassidus explains. The Rebbe explains it in the Maimer Yutas Kislev Vayishlach Tovshin Chav Gimel. There are a few Maimarim from the Rebbe about it. Tovshin Chav Ches again. The difference is that the chesed of Avram Avinu is a chesed that he does it mitzad his modesty, v'anechi ofer v'efer, and he does it in a way that he takes in consideration the mekabel. He takes in consideration the receiver. By Yishmael, it was giving and giving till he broke. It's giving without taking consideration the mekabel. So derech, like an example for that would be the mashal. It says that the Yidden once wanted, they says, take us to our brethren, the Yishmaelim. So they gave him the pitchers, which were just air, and the Pasha hurt them. They died from that. There was no food in there, and it just blew air into them. Al Pichsidus, this means they gave him, they just gave him more than their limitations, and they broke the mekabel. So b'meila, this is called, in a sense, it is called chesed. But achan veit is woe to such a chesed. It's a chesed which is gvura. It's a withdrawal it breaks the receiver instead of enhancing the receiver and contributing to the receiver.